Welcome to this information webinar for Apprentice and Apprentice Champion categories of the National Apprenticeship Awards 2022. This webinar will include hints and tips on completing an application. My name is Steve Jenkins and I'm the Senior Manager for the National Apprenticeship Awards at the Department for Education. This is information webinar number 2. There is another webinar available that you can listen to for the Employer and Rising Star categories. During this webinar, we will talk about the different categories and regional areas for the National Apprenticeship Awards, how the awards recognise excellence in business and learners, and that entering is a win-win situation. The awards aim to provide an opportunity for employers, apprentices and those who champion apprenticeships to demonstrate the excellence of their achievements. We will look at what to think about when putting together your entry and what judges are looking for in a quality application. And finally, we will look at where to access further support and information. There are 3 employer awards that are characterised according to employee headcount. There is also a Rising Star category that was launched in 2018 and enables employers to nominate an apprentice who is a Rising Star. There are 3 Learner Awards based on the level of the apprenticeship they are completing. If your apprenticeship was completed over 12 months ago, you should maybe think to apply for the Apprentice Champion category if appropriate. Stronger entrants usually have completed more than 50% of their current apprenticeship. The further through they are, the more evidence that is available to substantiate answers. As I mentioned, the champion category is open to individuals who go above and beyond to champion apprenticeships. The Apprentice Champion category is initially by nomination, which will come from a colleague or a contact who recognises their champion credentials. The champion themselves would then continue to complete the entry form. Providers can help entrants apply online for apprentice, champion and employer categories. An apprentice can only apply though in one category, i.e. entry in Apprentice of the Year excludes entry to Apprentice Champion for an individual who has already completed their apprenticeship. One other category for employers is for the Employer Recruitment Excellence category. The winner of this category is drawn from those employers who have applied through to the Employer of the Year categories. There are 9 judging regions. Any entry will be allocated using the postcodes you provide in the entry form. The regions are the same regions as the Apprentice Ambassador Network areas. Last year's winners are listed here, so we can see some of the winners of the Apprentice, Champion and Rising Star categories from 2021. All winners and highly commended can be found on gov.uk. So we have on this slide Gemma Smith from the East Midlands, who is the Intermediate Apprentice of the Year winner. The Advanced Apprentice of the Year winner was Jess Liddy from London. Adam Hearn from the East of England was the Higher Degree Apprentice of the Year. And Nahal Dillon was the Rising Star winner. And then finally, the Apprentice Champion of the Year was Ian Green from the North East. These are some of the benefits available to award winners. As well as the recognition for winning throughout the year, winners are known to benefit in other ways. Apprentices of the Year can be honoured for their inspirational qualities and being recognised as an exemplar in their sector, in their occupational area, or within their regional area. Often, Apprentice of the Year will receive regional or national media coverage, perhaps radio, TV interviews, advertising campaigns, case studies, social media content, and such like. You should know that even if the application isn't chosen as a finalist, it could still be considered for niche media requests. Winners have been invited in the past to join advisory boards, ambassadorial groups, and task force. These groups have been able to help inform government future policy of apprenticeships. Also, some typical activity winners have been invited to attend or even speak at include Buckingham Palace, House of Commons, as well as local schools and employers. This can be the same for Apprentice Champion of the Year categories applicants. And they are really rewarded in terms of their passion and advocacy for apprenticeships, how much they have promoted and shown the benefits to their sector or within their employer, within schools, within their local area. And the champion category is really a recognition for that commitment. Now you've heard the benefits of venturing, hear from two of our winners from last year. Nahal Dillon from JCB was the winner, as we've already seen, of the Loyds Banking Group Award for Rising Star. We will also hear from Jess Liddy from Google, who was the winner of the Advanced Apprentice of the Year from BT.
Nahal, what is the benefit of winning the award?
So hi, my name is Nahal Dillon and I'm an engineering degree apprentice at JCB. So I think the benefit of winning an award is that it gives you recognition within your company, which will definitely help as you come off scheme and help you to progress further in your career.
What are the top tips for applicants?
I would say a top tip for anybody who's thinking of applying for an award is make sure you put on your application anything that you've done outside of work in your personal life. They want to know what you're up to outside of your workplace, anything cool that you've done, your interests, stuff like that. Make sure you stick that in your application and you'll do better.
Thank you, Nahal. Now we will hear from Jess.
I decided to apply for the National Apprenticeship Awards as I felt it was such a great opportunity to show the value that you drive within your organisation by demonstrating the work that you do within your team. Not only this, but I felt really passionately about being part of the movement that reduces the false association of apprentices with inconsequential work. Since winning the National Advanced Apprentice of the Year, I've seen a huge elevation in my professional profile, and I've also received an abundance of recognition both inside and out of my workplace. Not only this, but it really helped to differentiate me from other candidates and was a big success factor when I was applying for my full-time role at Google.
Thank you both to Nahal and to Jess for those words and videos. So what are the judges looking for? Whatever the category, the main points for us to highlight today are that many applicants fall out of the process early on due to a lack of evidence provided. You may need to give strong and concrete examples of how exceptional you are. Higher scores are awarded to those who prove they are clearly better than average. And entering the award is certainly not a time to be modest. Think of it as a job application. Make your application stand out. And another popular reason for applicants falling out of the process is because applicants don't give a baseline. Think about it this way. If an application states, I made a 50% improvement, or my employer made a 50% improvement during the last 12 months, 50% actually equates to 0 if nothing provided is a baseline. So provide a baseline to illustrate what that 50% was an improvement from. You should also consider that applications are sifted by independent assessors that do not know anything about you or your sector or your apprenticeship program. It's important that you don't assume they do. Don't fill your applications with lots of different acronyms that are only understood within your occupational area or within your employer or within your sector. Insider information is not allowed during panels either. The judges are only permitted to make their decisions based upon the content provided in the application. So the main point here is to remember to include everything pertinent and evidence it. The judges want to feel that the apprenticeship is a journey, not a destination, so provide clarity about the future. For example, apprentices, tell us about your aims and ambitions for the future. Champions, tell us about your ambassadorial aims, where you would like to see apprenticeships grow within your sector or your regional area or within your employer. I know all of this seems obvious, but they are the main reasons why applicants don't make it through the judging panels. Remember as well to include tangibles, metrics and other evidence to back up the claims made in your applications. To support you in entering the awards, the dates for 2022 awards cycle are below. The application for the awards 2022, the application window, should I say, for the awards 2022 will be open until the 1st of July. During August, we will assess and moderate the entries, and regional judging will take place in September. The regional winners and highly commended will be announced during ceremonies in October. And I'm pleased to say that regional ceremonies will again be face-to-face. During the last 2 years, due to COVID restrictions, the regional ceremonies have taken place online. I'm happy to say there are 9 different regional ceremonies taking place around the country during October to announce the regional winners and the highly commended for each category. National judging then takes place in November, and the national event takes place on the 30th of November 2022 at the Londoner, Leicester Square in London. Please note that all these dates are subject to change, but any changes will be communicated through the awards mailing. So sign up by visiting appawards.co.uk and completing the newsletter sign up link at the bottom of the web page. This is a very short form to complete and keeps you up to date with all key developments in the National Apprenticeship Awards. You may also find it useful to understand the different stages of the awards. After the awards close for entries, the administration team will do a bit of housekeeping. The team check that applications are complete and make sure there is a reference for the learner and that it's appropriate and included. The assessment stage is completed by a team of independent assessors who score your responses against the criteria based on the questions. And remember, they are looking for evidence to base your claims on. The 5 highest scoring applicants are identified and passed through to the regional judging panel. The panels look at these entries, debate them and select the finalists. And the regional panel award up to 1 winner and 1 highly commended for each judging region. All regional winners progress through to the national judging panel, and all regional winners will be invited to the national ceremony where 1 national winner and 2 highly commended will be announced for each category. Further support is available at appawards.co.uk, where there are questions and answers, documents, application guidance, the application forms themselves, and other useful information. There is a help desk, a help desk number and an email account if you have any questions. Additional media from the 2021 ceremony is available on YouTube, and you can check out previous awards on our Flickr channel. Finally, just moving on to frequently asked questions. Are the awards free to enter? Yes, they are. Question: can anyone nominate an apprentice champion? The answer, mainly yes. The only restriction is that you shouldn't nominate a direct line manager or gain financially as a result of any nomination. Apprentice Champion of the Year applicants will not need to request a reference, as that is included within the initial nomination. But please ensure that the person you're thinking of nominating is still not completing their apprenticeships, or they will be ineligible for the Apprentice Champion category. Question 3. How many evidence documents can I add to my entry? You are only allowed to add one evidence document. This allows you to include charts, tables or graphs to help demonstrate metrics such as statistics. There is a word count of 250 words for apprentice and employer categories and a maximum file size of 3 MB. For the champion category, it's also one evidence document, but this should be a portfolio upload with a 750 word allowance and a maximum file size of 3 MB. The judges are looking for examples of how you proactively advocate apprenticeships and consider yourself to be exemplar. Question 4. How do I know what judging region to select? Well, for apprentice and champion categories, the judging region is based on your normal place of work. On the entry form, you will need to insert the full address of where you work, and the postcode will allocate your entry to one of the 9 regional judging areas in England. Question: how many entries can I submit? Only one entry is allowed per employer organisation. There is no limit to the total number of apprentice or champion categories from any one organisation. An apprentice or champion can only submit one entry and therefore, as already mentioned, cannot enter both apprentice and champion categories. Question 6. What happens to my entry after I submit it online? Or following the closing date, as already mentioned, there are many administrative checks. Then the entry is assessed by independent assessors, passed through, the top 5 are passed through then to the regional judging panels, where one regional winner and one highly commended are awarded in each category. The regional winners then go through to the national judging panel. And finally, question 7. I submitted an entry last year. Do I need to complete the whole form or just the resubmission part? You will need to complete the whole form due to the change in criteria. You will also need to complete the resubmission entry in the entry form. There are, of course, many other questions that are asked that are listed in the awards section on appawards.co.uk. Or there is the email address or help desk number where you can ask for more information. So finally, if you have any further questions, as mentioned, there's a helpline number and an email address. We do thank you for your time and good luck in this year's National Apprenticeship Awards 2022.